After studying this module, you shall be able to know about inequality in distribution of income and wealth, learn how and why redistribution of income is desired from projects, identify reasons for unequal distribution of income and resources in an economy, evaluate indicators for redistribution of income, analyze different types of redistribution of income programs of projects and their effects. Income differences and increase in inequality has been experienced over a long period of time. This has been recognized as an evil in the society, and efforts have been made by the government and various socialists to bring equality in distribution of income and wealth. This is evident through the following graph based on income of families and the cumulative proportion of income received by cumulative proportion of population. The diagonal would represent perfect equality in income. The extent to which the Lorenz curve is away from the diagonal shows the extent of income inequality. The Lorenz curve has shifted somewhat closer to the diagonal. The top 20% of the population receives 41% of the income. This is much higher than the 20% that it would receive if the income distribution were equal for all. But it is also much less than what the same top 20% of the population received 50 years ago, which was 54%. But despite all efforts, the wealth distribution is still highly unequal. Another graph that shows the number of high net worth individuals in the year 2011 is a clear reflection of the inequality in distribution of wealth. Following is the diagram representing the number of high net worth individuals in 2011. When there is redistribution of income, it will help in reducing income inequality and gradually wealth inequality. Political economy, through welfare aspects analysis, tries to gather an understanding of the community. Political economy tries to find the views of the people and employees as to their levels of motivation by way of material self-interest, better living conditions as available through their current income and the expected income in the future. It's an effort to have better and deeper understanding of a project's rationales, objectives, means, policy, programs and different activities related directly or indirectly as being effective on their actual implementation. For the development of a region to be in real terms, it is important that government extends the project development programs to develop infrastructure such as roads, bridges, power and economic facilities to rural or underprivileged areas, such that it should ensure there is proper and easy movements of goods, products or services to the markets. This will produce improvements in real terms. Living conditions of the community in a region would be better with a bit of efforts, but they will have to wait for a certain period of time, as generally such projects have a long gestation period and implementation tenure. This is both interesting and important to understand how the decisions are made regarding redistribution. Generally, the public opinion is that redistribution tends to benefit only those who have influence or political linkage to prioritize spending than those who lack any such influences. The desirability and effects of redistribution influence of a project are actively debated on their ethical and economic impacts in a region. Redistribution of income. Concept. Redistribution of income and redistribution of wealth are respectively the transfer of income and of wealth, including physical property, from some individuals to others by means of a social mechanism such as taxation, charity, welfare, land reform, monetary policies or confiscation. Redistribution of income is a concept that aims to remove economic inequality. Economic inequality is one of the main reasons of poverty and underdevelopment of a region. Inequality exists both in developing and developed economies. It is basically due to the inequality of assets, inequality of income, and inequality of consumption and regional inequality. Income inequality can be attributed to the level of skills, level of education, willingness to accept uncertainty, and market imperfections. Redistribution of income aims to remove this inequality by redistribution of income. Meaning, Redistribution of income or wealth are related to the transfers of income and wealth from project employment opportunities to other individuals or employees who are directly or indirectly involved in the project programs and activities by the means of social aspects such as welfare, employment, charity, monetary, taxation policy or policy benefits. It tries to analyze redistribution of income in an economy wide based rather than a study of selective individuals. It's an effort to assess the desirable and effects of redistribution of income are based on ethical, economic and social aspects parameters. In order to have better understanding, let us understand some of the key terms as follows. Income. Income in its simple form is referred to as social security, periodically providing money to the citizens or residents. It's the availability of cash component and other benefits for general, improved and better standard of living. The benefits are provided in exchange for the services or labor provided to the project's activities. The project gets labor in return of wage payments, whereas government earns income by the way of taxes in different forms through project activities. Income generation. The income may be generated through different employment opportunities made available through project activities directly or indirectly. The availability of income may be for short-term or long-term period of time. Income is made available to the employees based on the possessing of desired skill set and experiences. Generally, project makes available employment opportunities for highly technical, specialized and professionally skilled personnel. It also provides employment to a lot of laborers. Welfare. It is the provision of minimal level of well-being and social support to all of its citizens in a region or nation. At times, it is also referred to as political aid. In most of the developed countries, welfare is majorly provided by the government by the way of subsidies, charity, religion groups or intergovernment organizations. Welfare concepts also include reduction of poverty, redistribution of income and employment generation. Redistribution of income. There are different preferences of related projects based activities or its employees for redistribution of income. In political economy analysis, they rely on the assumption that redistribution is preferred by a given employee is a comparison of their own income and the average income of population or income of other employee in similar project activity employment. Thus, redistribution related to other factors such as social security, insurance risk, mobility, etc. In majority of employees, they are more concerned about their current income and they ignore the expected income in future. Whereas expectation of the future income is more important consideration in relation to redistribution preference for income level in comparison to the present income. Indicators for redistribution of income. A project's socio-economic analysis is to examine how a proposed development would change the lives of residents affected by the project activities. The objective of income redistribution is to provide economic stability and opportunity to less privileged members of a society. It is indicated by, first, changes in employment. The changes in the pattern of employment would indicate the employment opportunities currently available or expected to be made available in future period after the project is implemented. As project would lead to a creation of new job opportunities as well as make some of the existing jobs non-viable or redundant. The job security and length of job and the service opportunities available will all be the indicators of redistribution of income. Second, community demographic changes. As economy grows, there are changes in the pattern of education and the demographic mix. These call for redistribution of income. With the growth of economy, its demand for goods and products increases, thereby general level of consumption patterns change. Third, changes in the income levels. The level of income of the residents of a region before and after a chosen project is implemented and what is the proportion of increase in the income level due to the project are indicators to whether the project is effective in reference to the attainment of its established objectives. Fourth, housing market analysis. It is a very good indicator of the growth and development of the society in a region. The kind of housing facilities made available to the residents or employees of a project, that is, whether they are having permanent or temporary housing facilities, whether such housing is provided as a part of terms of employment or for their private ownership by providing financial assistance are indicative of growth and development. Fifth, quality of life, general opinion of well-being. The level of quality of life of the people in an economy is a general indicator of the development of economy. It is based on the information related to level of education, primary, graduation, professional or technical, type of food and general consumption patterns, owning of the comfort or luxury items like car, TV, computer, air conditioners, etc. The number of hours of working in a week, level of stress, general health of the people indicates the quality of work life of employees. Sixth is public sector or retail services demand. The general demand by public sector and retail services demand by the residents of an economy is a significant indicator of the income availability of the residents. Composition of the overall retail demand of different types of goods and products. An analysis as to whether such demand of goods by the people is for general use or luxury purposes. It's also reflection to the demand for a project and its outputs in an economy. Seventh, medical facilities and care. The level of medical and healthcare facilities that are made available to the employees and the members of the society, such as hospitals, dispensaries or healthcare centers. General availability of professionally qualified medical staff, developed and latest modern medical facilities and regular follow-ups, proper and easy availability of medicines. The next topic which we are going to do now is the utilization of income by individuals in general. Income generated by an individual by way of involvement or being employed in project related activities and its allocation is put to use normally in the following ways. First, household expenditure, that is on food purchase cost, education, health, etc. Main allocation of household expenditure typically includes food purchase cost, spending on education of children, general health care, clothes and other such expenditures. Second, payment of taxes. A major part of the income is diverted towards the payment of taxes in different forms, such as income tax and indirect payment of taxes in the form of service taxes, duties, surcharges and cess, custom duties, etc. Third, personal spending. Some portion of the income is spent by an employee on his personal spending preferences based on their individual passions, tastes and preferences. Fourth, transport expenditure. In general, when project is located far from the place of residence of an employee, then a significant amount is spent on transportation expenses in the form of the use of the means of transport, whether personal or private. Fifth, savings. To avail the tax benefits or to avoid the tax, a portion of income is also allocated to savings or different saving schemes. Also, savings are done for the futures and contingencies that might occur. Sixth, miscellaneous expenditure. This type of expenditure includes allocation for emergencies or unplanned items or such future uncertain eventualities. This is allocation for unscheduled or sudden unallocated expenses. The next topic is economic effects of inequality of income. Based on the statistical data available related to various projects implemented for different developed and developing countries, it is a proven fact there is existence of a relationship between inequality of income, economic growth and higher rates of health and social problems. By implementing selected projects, its objective is to remove these inequalities of society to some extent. These can be measured based on the following factors. First, health issues. Health issues are related to obesity or malnutrition, mental ill health, etc. Second, social issues. Social issues related to life expectancy rate, level of education, status of women in family and society, general trust among the members of society, social mobility and ethnic mix of the society. Third is per capita income. Per capita income in general is an indicator of the quality of life, level of employment and spending on luxury, holiday and happiness quotient of the residents of a society. Fourth is psychological aspects. Psychological aspects related to the level of stress in the individual, anxiety, general level of depression present in the society and what percentage of population is affected by it. Fifth is natural resources. The availability of natural resources and their allocation also impacts the lives of their inhabitants. As such, resources are made available as gift of the nature. Sixth is level of education. The level of education and its nature, whether it's basic, graduation, professional or technical, research based or research based. Type of education facilities and their availability and proportion of income spent on education. 7 is Guineas Index. Guineas Index or coefficient of living of the people or residents of a region is a very good indicator. It's easier to have comparisons of incomes of different individuals of a region, taking into consideration the effect of taxation. The next topic is types of redistribution of income. The redistribution of income is mainly due to different project generated employment opportunities. The redistribution may be for short term, that is temporary or part-time or casual, or it could be long-term permanent basis. Redistribution of income may be available in the following different ways. First, transfer payments. The redistribution can also be attained by the way of transfer payments in the form of food subsidies or vouchers, housing benefits, subsidized higher or professional education, car or transportation facility, etc., or in some other suitable ways. Next is tax system. Generally, redistribution is attained through general taxation. A high income earner would be paying a higher tax while a low income earner would be paying a lower tax rate. In this way, the benefits are provided to the poor or who pays less or no taxes at all, though people prefer to have benefits directly in the form of cash or cash assistance in some form. Next, land reforms. Redistribution of income can be attained through land reforms by way of transfer of ownership of land holding from a category of people to another category of people. As in underdeveloped areas, people still are dependent on agriculture for income generation, which is generally not owned by them. Next, development of ancillary or allied units. Usually, due to the implementation of large or mega projects in a region, it leads to development of allied or ancillary units which act as a source of inputs for such project processes. These act as major source of employment as well as income generation for the resident of nearby areas. Criticism of redistribution of income. A lot of queries have been raised on the desirability and effect of redistribution of income on the basis of ethical and economic factors. The initial income of residents of area and thereafter any increase in their income due to redistribution of income which is made available in response to the implementation of a project in a location. As such, no redistribution of income satisfies either poor or the wealthy. It is proven based on different researches that in poor nations there cannot be any redistribution of income possible due to resource constraints or residents' unwillingness or lack of local government support. Although when a project is implemented, redistribution of income would in effect help both the poor and the rich equally in future. Based on a report of International Monetary Fund, it can be said that there is an association between lower levels of inequality and economic growth. Developing nations with high inequality have succeeded in initiating growth at a high rate for some years, but long periods of growth are possible when there is more equality in income distribution. Another criticism is based on public choice theory, which states that the redistribution is based mainly on the choice of politicians with clout and influence rather than a genuine need to help the poor. Marxian economists argue that social democratic reforms, including policies to redistribute income such as unemployment benefits and high taxes on profits and the wealthy, create more contradictions in capitalism by further limiting the efficiency of capitalist system via reducing incentives for capitalists to invest in further production. Summary. Let us now summarize what we have learnt in this module. A lot of queries have been raised on the desirability and effect of redistribution of income on the basis of ethical and economic factors. The improvement of economic well-being of a community is the ultimate goal of project activities to be made available through the redistribution of income. A proven fact, there is existence of a relationship between inequality of income, economic growth and higher rates of health and social problems which can be reduced by the way redistribution of income in a society. Nations with relatively low inequality do much more redistribution than in comparison with high inequality nations, as they are more unequal and not much redistributed. The unequal distribution of income creates more contradictions and leads to limit the efficiency and performance of the project and its activities. Redistribution can help in transition of an economy by society. By the way of redistribution of income, people generally prefer to have benefits directly in the form of cash or cash assistance in some form. The objective of redistribution of income is to enhance the economic stability and provide different opportunities for the betterment of income of the people. In a society where there is redistribution of income at lower rate, it increases the inequality of the future incomes and restrains to wealth investment both in human and physical resources.